Alright, so we've got another massive eShop sale live right now, and as always, I'm going to be covering the US, Canada, UK, Europe, and Australia. And there are some incredible deals this week across both the Switch 1 and the Switch 2, so I've picked out the best of them for you all. I've also got two winners to announce then later in the video for two $10 eShop gift cards, and of course, there's two more up for grabs. Now, if you want to enter, it's simple, just drop a comment down below, and I'll announce the winners in next Saturday's video. And if you do enjoy this kind of content, sales roundups, hidden gems, performance reviews, basically everything Nintendo Switch, make sure to hit subscribe. I'm pushing towards that 100k milestone, and every subscription, it makes a huge difference. Finally, if you haven't seen last Saturday's deals video just yet, well, that's because it went live late. Been a bit sick, so I've linked it down below if you do want to catch up. It actually went live on Thursday. And yeah, now let's get into it. Alright, so first up, Hades. It's a masterpiece, plain and simple. If you've somehow never played it, now is the time, especially with the sequel just a few weeks away. Now this is the roguelite that set the bar for the genre, blending fast, fluid combat with a narrative that unfolds against runs in really a way no other game had managed before. You will die again and again, but every failure feeds into your progress, it pushes you further. The weapons then, incredibly satisfying. The upgrades give a lot of room for experimentation, and the cast of characters, by the end, it feels like family. It's one of those rare games that even after hundreds of hours, it can still surprise you with a new build or some sort of interaction. So honestly, if you only pick up one deal this week and Hades is not in your library, make it this one. Alright, so strategy fans, this one's for you. Triangle Strategy comes from Square Enix. It's another gorgeous HD 2D gem in the style of Octopath Traveler. Now, if you are a fan of Final Fantasy Tactics or just looking to get into something meaty ahead of that new Final Fantasy strategy release, this is a great choice. What sets it apart is the branching story. Choices, they really do matter. It shapes the alliances you form and even who sticks with you. And the combat itself, great fun. It's grid-based, incredibly satisfying, and yeah, it's got a real nice rhythm. On top of all of this then, it's the presentation that will win you over. That blend of retro sprites with modern effects, it's just incredible. Finally, this one is a long game. It asks for some commitment, so do be aware of that. But it will reward you with one of the strongest strategy experiences on Switch. Right, so old school action platformer fans. Yeah, buy this one. SHINOBI no GRATA is a throwback to the NES days, and if you grew up with Ninja Gaiden, this will feel instantly familiar. It's tough, no question about that, but that's the appeal. Levels here, quick, sharp, enemy patterns, you're going to need to learn them, and the bosses, for sure, going to test your patience as much as your reflexes. What I liked most though is how it sprinkles in just enough modern touches to make it more approachable. You can swap different weapons, projectiles, all that good stuff on the fly. It gives you more options mid-run, and that flexibility kind of keeps frustration in check. The pixel art then, really well done. The soundtrack, yeah, nice and energetic. And while it's not reinventing the wheel or anything, it knows exactly what it wants to be. So yeah, for fans of punishing action, easy recommendation. Until then is one of the most powerful narrative experiences I've played this year, and if you're looking for something story first, don't miss it. This isn't a game you come to for complex mechanics. Gameplay is mostly about mini-games, dialogue, light interactions, but the writing, the atmosphere, top tier. It captures the lives of a group of students in the Philippines, weaving in friendship, grief, and this surreal sense of mystery that builds across the hours. What really struck me though is how grounded it feels, the details in the environment, the way characters speak to each other. It all has this lived-in authenticity that makes the heavier story beats land, well yeah, even harder. It's emotional, it's unique, it's the kind of game that will stick with you long after you've finished. So yeah, for narrative fans, it's essential. Bloomtown, A Different Story is a gem I almost missed, and I'm so glad I jumped in. On the surface, it looks like a charming kind of pixel art RPG with turn-based combat. But once you're in, the world really kind of starts to open up. Now you're playing in what is kind of, I guess, a seemingly ordinary town, but it's got a dark undercurrent. There's monsters lurking just out of sight, and the battles you fight, they're as much about confronting fears as they are about numbers on a screen. The art is lovely, it's bright and colourful, but it still gives space for the themes, and the combat system, there's just enough twists here to keep it fresh without ever overwhelming. What I liked most though is how unique it feels compared to most RPGs on the Switch. You know, it's clearly inspired by classics, but it's adding that dash of its own identity. So definitely worth your time at this price. And yeah, I'd go into this one. Don't just expect the usual RPG here. I think it will, for many, yeah, surprise you. Attack on Titan 2 Final Battle is 50% off right now, matching the lowest price we've ever seen. And honestly, I think it's one of the best anime games out there. The Final Battle Edition is the definitive version. It adds content from Season 3 of the anime, including new characters, missions, and extra gear. The base game, for me, already nails that sense of speed and chaos as you're zipping around with, you know, the gear, you're cutting down titans. But this expansion makes it feel complete. And if you do already own the original release, you don't need to buy it again. The upgrade pack is also on sale, that's 40% off. So this one, it's a package that really rarely gets discounted too much. So if you are an Attack on Titan fan, don't underestimate this one. It's great fun, and honestly, I think now is the time to grab it. PARANORMASIGHT, The 7 Mysteries of Honjo is also 50% off, but this is a new low. And it's one of the most honestly surprising Square Enix releases in years. You know, for me, I don't usually expect a visual novel from them, but that's exactly what this is. It's a brilliant kind of horror mystery experience set in 1980s Tokyo. So what you'll be doing is you'll be juggling different perspectives, each linked to different supernatural curses. Slowly though, you'll piece together the truth. What makes it stand out is how creative the puzzles are. You'll have to think outside the box and sometimes even break the fourth wall to find solutions. Don't want to spoil it because half the fun is in those moments, you know, the surprise, but trust me, it's one of the smartest, most unique narrative games you can play on Switch, and yeah, I think it's a great price. Octopath Traveler 1 and 2 are both down to 60% off, matching their lowest price yet, and with Octopath 0 arriving in December, I think this is the perfect chance to catch up. You know, these are big, massive in fact, HD 2D RPGs with turn-based combat, gorgeous visuals, and incredible soundtracks. The first established the formula, letting you choose from 8 different characters with their own paths. The sequel refined the storytelling and the combat to make it smoother. They are, again, long. They're also demanding. They are also some of the most rewarding RPGs on the system. If you've ever been curious about the series, or you just want something epic to sink into before that new entry drops, these as good as it gets. Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake is 35% off, matching its lowest price ever, and this is such a great time to jump in. It takes one of the most beloved entries in the Dragon Quest series and rebuilds it in stunning HD 2D, so it keeps the retro heart intact, but it adds so much visual flair. It really is just a great way to experience a classic, whether you're new to Dragon Quest or have been with the series for decades. Even better then, it comes with a free Switch 2 upgrade, so performance, loading, and the visuals, all better. So, well, all better if you're on that newer hardware, of course. And with Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D releasing, what, a month or so now? Starting here is the perfect way to get into the trilogy. So yeah, great games, well worth it for genre fans or Dragon Quest fans. Don't miss it. Alright, so just quickly, the winners of our $2 $10 eShop gift card giveaway, they're on screen right now. Congrats both, email me for the codes, and everyone else, drop a comment down below for your chance in next Saturday's video. Demon Slayer The Hinokami Chronicles 2 is currently 25% off, a brand new low price, and I just finished playing this myself. Look, the first game for me was one of the best anime brawlers around. This sequel pushes it further. Just think more arcs in story mode, bigger roster for those versus battles. I just don't think you can lose here. The art style then is gorgeous, the cutscenes incredible, and the combat, yeah, flashy yet really easy to pick up. Now on Switch 2, it runs flawlessly. Switch 1 can see a few minor dips. The disappointment here, I think really for me, is there's no Switch 2 edition, it's Switch 1 only. So hopefully we see some sort of upgrade in the future. But what that means is the gameplay is actually locked, or capped, should I say, at 30 FPS. Love to see them unlock this personally. But honestly, overall, just such a fun fighter. I don't think it really holds it back. And if you are a Demon Slayer fan, yeah, you should absolutely check it out. And that's the video down. What will you be adding to the library this week? And let me know in the comments. Also, let me know if you've got any suggestions as well. This is a massive sale of this one, and I kind of cherry picked what I thought were some of the very best. So I'd always love to hear those suggestions. Again, as well, if you did enjoy it, do me a favor and subscribe. those subscriptions, honestly, they make a huge difference. All right, I'll see you on the next one. Cheers all.